Oh, here we go. That's why. That was weird. I didn't mean to push that. There was a little crab under the car. Well, of course, there's a deer fly in the car. That was a little crab that was in the road. Tried to grab him, but he wouldn't. Had a hard time there. All right, get out of here, bro. This freaking deer fly's in the corner. I don't want him biting me. Come on. Come on, you little. Get out. Thank you. All right, he's out. Well, thank you for letting me know about the sound. I was wondering what was going on. So, my guess, and we're at 5 minutes right now, I said, hey, no snakes so far. I just started. So, my guess, oh, that is a dead snake in the road. Unfortunately, it looks like a ribbon snake. I said 15 minutes until we get our first snake. That was my guess. Let's see, this is a ribbon snake. Unfortunately, squished in the road. That sucks. And that's fresh too. If we look off to the side here, that is all sawgrass. That is brackish water. Right there. A little salt flat. All right. So I said 15 minutes I wanted to get the first snake, but will that happen? I mean, we'll see. You never know unless you try. Although, I'll have to say this. I mean, that's a dead snake. It's very fresh. I mean, stuff's already moving, which is what we are hoping for. Turn around right here and go back up and down that road a few times. There's a little cactus right there. On the side of the road. I mean, literally a nub of a cactus. We got a few different types of cactus that are native here, and then a few that are not native. The gopher tortoises love them. All right. You just gotta put in the time, put in the effort. You never know. You never know when you're gonna come across that animal of a lifetime. And if I got a king snake to come across this road, oh God, that would be incredible right now. I mean, duh, of course it'd be incredible, but if I don't go out, I'm never gonna find them. Now, things have slowed down a little bit, but at the same time, I keep on seeing pictures of people finding incredible stuff right now. So I know snakes are moving. I know that there are snakes. People are finding snakes. What's up, DNA? What's a snake that pretends to be a cobra? Well, I mean, there's a few that flatten out their neck like that, but the one you're probably thinking of is the eastern hognose snake. That's going to be my guess. If you're talking about snakes here in the United States, that is. But all around the world, there's a bunch of snakes that'll flatten out their neck. A lot of elapids do it, which is cobras are elapids. The king cobra is a great example because it's not a cobra. It's not in the same genus. So is the wrinkles. Again, they're not cobras. A lot of the Australian elapids, like tiger snakes and stuff, will do the same thing where they'll flatten their neck, trying to make themselves look as big as possible. And you would think, I mean, they look a lot like cobras because they're in the same family, but they are not cobras. So yeah, but king cobra is just a great example of that. They have that wide neck spread. And they do sort of the same thing, but they are not cobras. It gets complicated, and people are like, what do you mean? It's called a king cobra. Well, a catfish isn't a cat, is it? There's a lot of names for things that don't make much sense. Come on, I got 5 minutes to find a snake alive to hit that 15-minute mark. It's definitely possible. Come on, king snake, show thyself. Make my day. Nope. I don't know if any of you all have seen the movie. I think it's called Crank. There's a couple of them. It's with Jason Statham. Ridiculous movies. Funny, but because they're so ridiculous, I couldn't believe some of the stuff that happened, and I'm just like, are you kidding me? Are you straight up kidding me? This is one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but it's funny. I gotta keep on watching it. We're about to turn around and go back up again. King snake with the one with the colors. Well, there's multiple. Yeah, the one I'm talking about was the Eastern King, which are black and white, but there are king snakes, the Scarlet King snake, which are red, black, and white. The one with all the colors. Well, this is probably my last chance to get a snake in the 15-minute mark. So let's hope on this loop that I get one right in that time. Fingers crossed. Might try another type of loop tonight, or instead of going all the way down at the end on the first pass, I'll go and pass the top portion a couple times and then go down. See how things are doing. We'll try it and see. Which one is the venomous? The coral snake. Coral snakes are the ones you're thinking of. Those are the venomous ones. All right, come on. This is my Hail Mary right here. Can I get one? And this right up here. Come on, there's gotta be one crossing. I got just over a minute to go. That's a stick. Always checking the sides of the roads, and they always get me going whenever I see a stick just popping its little self out there trying to tease a little bit. Last time, I ended up, like, once the network cuts out enough times, glizzy glocks. That's sure, glizzy glocks. Once the network cuts out enough times, which won't happen tonight, but when it happens in areas that are a little spotty, like the last place I was, like I had gotten out and was taking a video of the second corn snake I had found, and then it just literally, like, it wouldn't let me try to reconnect, so I just ended it. It was frustrating, but there was really nothing I could do about it. And, you know, which sucks because there are snakes out there, but I just couldn't find a connection. Well, 15-minute mark. There is a crab back there again, though. Maybe if I loop back on this next time when I get out, I'll show you guys the crab. There's a couple out here. There are certain snakes that eat crabs too, like the mangrove salt marsh snake, which is basically just a banded water snake that can live in brackish to salt water, and they're usually either black and orange or just straight orange. They're really pretty, especially like the orange ones. I've only seen them down in the Everglades, but pretty much any little coastal area like this, there's potentials of seeing them. Just, I haven't seen any out here yet, but I know some people who have. All right, we'll get up here, and then I saw a few crabs walk in. So I'll get out and grab a crab this next time that I turn around here. I don't know, I guess I take things like that for granted because a lot of people will never see anything like that. I mean, that's my thoughts behind that, I guess. Most people don't live in Florida, and I just take the things we have in Florida for granted sometimes. Let's see. I think that's a crab right there behind me. Let's go check out this crab. Was that a crab? No, that's a big dead grasshopper. I thought it was a crab or other snakes from abroad affecting the Everglades. Not really. I mean, there's other populations of snakes down there, like some boas that have become established, but they don't really do much. Burmese pythons are the only snakes that are really doing anything. As I said, you'll get random other snakes sometimes. Either someone's released pet, or as I said, boas. There's little populations of like rainbow boas and stuff, but they're not really doing anything, to my knowledge. You know, you get some people who say they find stuff every once in a while. You know, sometimes someone will find a ball python, but they're usually someone's escaped pet and don't have a breeding population down there. It's not that that stuff is necessarily blown, like it's, to say it's blown out of proportion is not really necessarily true, but it gets a lot more hype. And like I saw an article today where like this newspaper was trying to say that they were going to make their way up to Tampa soon, and it's just not true. In Texas, we call them hognose snakes, but I believe the proper name is spreadinator. Oh, here's a crab right here. Hopefully he doesn't run away from me. Got him. These guys are strong. Ah. Little crab. Little fiddler. You know, they'll look very similar to a lot of other smaller crabs. The mangrove crabs will be a lot flatter. This is a fiddler though. I don't know what kind of fiddler, but little fiddler crab crossing the road. Get him back over, away from the car. Nice. Not a snake, but something a lot of people aren't expecting. Are pythons really that bad in that area? Here, no. They don't make their way north of, well, really north of, they're pretty much only in the Everglades. They don't really make their way out. But newspaper article was trying to make it seem like they were making their way farther north. Could they adapt? And it's like, bro, you're just spreading, you're just trying to get clicks and making people freak out about something that's not actually happening. That's all that is. It's kind of frustrating, but what are you gonna do? That's what the news does. Makes people freak out. All right. Starting to get a little darker. Hopefully we get some movement here. This is that weird time where the lights from the car don't really help you out too much. I'm gonna have to slow down and make sure that I don't just come across something, because that's what happened last time. It was nice and toasty today, which was good. Hit the lower 90s, but it hasn't rained much. Not really. I'm waiting for the rain to start, and that's when things would most likely start to heat up. You know, at least, you know, get animals moving a bit. Some of these guys, it's kind of difficult. They'll hunker down until the rain comes because they like to be wet. They like to be moist. I know some people can't stand that, but that's just the way it is. Spreadinator. It's a good name. That's a good name. I do enjoy that name. Another pass here. I'll probably end up starting to move back down. Connection seems to be better today. Any finds yet? A crab and a dead ribbon snake. Yeah, connection here is better. That's one of the reasons I came back. That last little bit of last trip, I was in the middle of catching a corn snake and my connection went out and it wouldn't let me even try to reconnect it. And I just got frustrated and then just left. There wasn't anything else going on. But here, the only part that has a spotty connection is all the way down at the end of this road here. And I turn around before I get to that point, because I usually don't find anything down at that end anyway. But the rest of this road tends to have a pretty good connection. I shouldn't even have any problems at all. But it's weird, like roads like this. I've been down this road a bunch of times, but way before I even started doing like lives and stuff. And I had never found anything on this road like at all. And as I said, I've been down here a bunch of times. But then like a month and a half ago, I started coming down this road and I found a bunch short time, like over a few trips. And now it seems like it's slowing down again. Like I found a mud snake, I found a dead king snake, I found a scarlet snake, all on this little stretch of road. And I'm like, well, that's really cool. There's stuff down here. I mean, I know there's stuff down here, but actually to get it across the road is a pretty cool thing. But then over the last few times of coming down here, it seems to be slowing down again, where there's, you know, a couple ribbon snakes or so, and that's really about it. Nothing else is really moving on this road. So with all that being said, you know, maybe stuff starts moving later out here and I'm just not coming late enough to this spot. So that's why I'm going to try hit or miss. Is it better at night? This time of year tends to be better at night because it's just too hot during the day. I mean, don't get me wrong, you'll find snakes if you look in the right places during the day, but it's one of those things where animals, especially snakes, people think snakes need, oh, they're cold-blooded, they like the sun, they like the heat. No, they get too hot just as much as you can get too hot. They don't like that direct sunlight. They would much rather sit on a warm rock than sit in the sunlight. So oftentimes the best times to look for snakes are on humid, overcast, warm days. So like if it's overcast and warm, that's when you want to go look for snakes, because the sun's not directly beating down on them and baking them alive, but they can still get that thermal energy they want. Those are the times to really do it. Now at night, you don't have to worry about the sun as much. Snakes will move a little bit more. They'll go out and look for food because they're not getting directly hit with the sun, and then the roads hold on to that thermal energy that they want. You know, because the road warmed up, especially like blacktop at night, and depending on how hot it was during the day and how hot the roads themselves are and how long they stay warm tends to dictate when you'll find snakes on the road. So if it's like 100 degrees out during the day, baking, and the blacktop gets like 150, 160 degrees, the snakes are not going to come out onto the road right after the sun goes down, because it's going to be way too freaking hot for them. It's going to literally like burn their scales. They don't want that. So snakes versus snakes, Africa versus Africa. And there's a lot of crazy African snakes for sure. I mean, an indigo could eat a lot of them, but that's a tough one. But yeah, the hotter it is during the day, the later it is until the snakes feel like the temperature of the concrete is warm enough. And also, if it doesn't stay that hot, you know, like in the spring or in the fall, or like temperatures are cooler, they'll come out right as the sun sets, because that's the time when the road is warm enough for them to come out on, but it cools down way too quickly for them. The outside air temperature cools down, and there's only a brief bit of time where they end up moving. So like, this is that weird phase of time where it's like, it could be hot enough during the day where the roads stay warm if it was raining. Like, all those things play a factor. And then sometimes there's times where none of that matters, and they come out whenever they want to, and you know, you just don't understand why they're out. Yeah, yep, the mamba's there for sure. Mambas are a scary snake, but they're a lot thinner than an indigo is. And indigos also eat rattlesnakes and stuff, although mamba venom is something that they probably wouldn't have any luck with. Mamba venom would probably take them out. Do you see more dead snakes than live snakes in the area you're driving around? It just depends. Depends on how busy the road is and how many snakes are moving. Oftentimes, yes, you'll see more dead snakes than you'll see live snakes, unfortunately. Now, a dead snake is always unfortunate, But it could mean a couple good things. It could mean that if you're seeing dead snakes, that means snakes are moving and you're in the right area. And you can kind of get an idea of when they're moving. And, you know, oh, there's a snake right there. Ooh, what is that? Gotta get light. What is that? Oh, that is a dark rat snake. Oh. Ah, got him. He bit me. That is a beautiful rat snake. Look at that. We got the first snake out of the way, and look how much darker this one is compared to the other ones we've been finding on the road, right down the road. Look at that beautiful snake. The back is so much darker. I've never found a rat snake on this road. Look how dark his belly is. Perfect. That is a good way to start the night. That is a great way to start the night. That is a very dark rat snake. Very dark. And gave me a little kiss right. Nice. All right. Well, that feels good. Usually rat snakes around here are a lot lighter in the road. That's why I was like, what is that? Because he looks so dark. I couldn't make out the markings on him. I knew it was a non-venomous snake just by the little bit I could see from him. But hey, that's a good sign. Snakes are moving. Rat snakes are moving. That's really cool. Always love to see it. Good start to the night. Yep. Good start to the night. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to find, you know, a bunch of ribbon snakes too, but that's one of those targets that, like, okay, yeah, that's good. That's good. If I got a bunch of rat snakes, I'd feel pretty good about the night. Now, you know, there's a lot of other snakes that would make the night perfect, of course, but it's just like, you know, you could catch a bunch of 3-pound bass and you're like, you know what, that was a good day. Didn't catch any giants, but hey, it was busy. We caught a bunch of fish. Or you could catch a bunch of 1-pound bass and be like, caught fish, but you know, nothing really to talk about. Or you could catch like a bunch of 1-pound bass and then catch a 10-pound bass and be like, that was a fantastic day, because that one 10-pounder brought everything in. So that's kind of how I look at it. Like, finding snakes at all, it's fun. I enjoy it. I'd rather see a bunch of comments. If you want cottonmouths, go to Town Peak State's a place cottonmouth breeding. Yeah, there's cottonmouths here too. It wouldn't surprise me if we find one. Oh, we got a car coming down this road. I'm gonna move on from this road. And let this guy pass. I also gotta use the restroom real quick. Even when people watch documentary snakes, why do they say kill them? Because people just don't like snakes. I don't know. I stopped trying to guess why, because I mean, it's just what people learned when they were younger. They usually, this guy's herping. He's driving too slow for him not to be looking for snakes. I think. I don't know. Oh no, it was just a big van. Ooh, is that a snake? Let me look real quick. I couldn't tell if that was a snake or not. Let me see. Nope, it's just a grass coming off the road. Well, hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm about to come in. I'm taking a whiz real quick because I had to regardless. But yeah, you know, it's, I don't know why people kill snakes, to be quite honest with you. But, I mean, they say it's for safety reasons. But, like, when you look at the actual grand scheme of things, in the United States at least, that's not a good reason for safety, because the actual statistics, the numbers show that that's not an issue you have to worry about. It's like, on average, 5 people a year are killed by snakes in the United States. And I think like 3 out of 5 of them are from people's pets, like pet venomous snakes. So it's not real, and like our anti-venom that we have here covers everything except for the coral snake, but the coral snake bites are so rare that they don't even make the anti-venom anymore for it. I think like 1 person has died from a coral snake since like the 60s when it was created, when the anti-venom was created. It was because he refused to get care. So, you know, it's, I don't know, like 5,000 people are bitten by venomous snakes in the US every year, something like that. And only 5 people are killed by them. So it's not really an issue. I mean, people's pet dogs are more of an issue. God, Mountain Wild, kid nursery, or walk away. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, you could say that. You know, but it's more than just rednecks. It's way more than just rednecks. Are you a fan of those python hunters? They piss me off. No, not really. I mean, I don't hate on the python hunters. I get it. I mean, I don't hate what they do necessarily. Like, they're not doing anything bad. Like, they're not doing anything that's hurt. Like, the only ones that are legally allowed to do it have to have permits through the FWC. So, like, they're not just randos that are doing it. That's the thing. You can go looking for pythons, but you can't actually do anything unless you have the permits. So I don't hate on them. What I hate more are the iguana hunters. Is people go out there with pellet guns and just like show off them blasting a iguana's head and all that. Like, it's like a very common thing. I follow a few iguana hunting pages just to see what it was like. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, like, I love rednecks too. I wish I was one. Where are you looking? Looks like Lakeland. No, I'm a few hours away from Lakeland. I'm a little north of there. But yeah, no, the iguana hunting ones are the ones that tick me off the most. But, you know, whatever. The only reason that the iguana is persecuted is because of where it lives. It can live like right in the middle of the city as long as there's water. And a lot of rich people live on the water, and they don't like the fact that they make holes in the embankments and stuff to lay eggs and stuff, and they just don't like the property damage they do. So that's the only reason people care about the iguanas. Otherwise, literally nothing would happen with them. But that's just how all that works. Technically, that makes it an invasive species because of the economic devastation, quote unquote, it does. But there's a ton of other non-native animals, lizards, that live down there, like the brown basilisk, the Jesus lizard, as it's sometimes called, because it runs on water. There's a ton of them down there. You think they would like the wildlife? No, they don't. It's a reptile. They'd love it if it was a cat, maybe. But no, it's reptiles. Why would they care? And why does FWC have any say over that? I don't know. Why don't they have any say over a barnyard cat, or like a feral cat? Well, they claim it's because it falls under a different jurisdiction of domesticated animals. So, you know, there's little nuances to it. But it's just dumb overall, in my opinion. But, you know, opinions are like assholes, you know. Everyone's got one. So it doesn't really matter what I think, but it is what it is. It'd be nice to find I've only found one corn snake ever up here. And they're sun-kissed. I mean, I found a few hit by cars, but I've only found one alive, and it was right up the road here. And they're sun-kissed. They're very bright orange. They're very pretty. But, and I found on this little stretch of road, I found striped crayfish snakes, or glossy straight crayfish snakes, whatever you want to call them. And they're very cool looking. They're mostly aquatic, but they tend to be pretty small. They just got like a shine to them, a very pretty shine to them. Hence the name glossy. And then there's black swamp snakes, which I've only ever found one of. They're black with a red belly. How they handle the snake that pissed me off. What's the biggest snake you found? Well, I found a dead indigo once that was about 7 feet. It was huge, maybe even 8 feet. I mean, it was a giant snake. That was a couple years ago. Found some big diamondbacks, eastern diamondbacks that were probably around 4 foot. Coach whip, I found like a 7.5, 8 foot coach whip, which is like a giant black racer, basically. And then I found probably about a 7 or 8 foot Burmese python. Hey, thanks, G-Sharks. I appreciate that more than you could possibly know. It means a lot. But, you know, it's, I don't know. It's, I haven't really found anything that's considerably large, but there's not too many really large snakes here. Like your average really big snake would, like I found about a 6 foot pine snake once. So like the 5 to 6 foot range of any snake is usually pretty big for here. Most of the snakes you're going to get are in like the 2 to 3 foot range at most. Found a dead, that toad or frog just committed sewer slide. Ran right in front of the car. Yeah, I have, the other night here, I found a rat snake that it was freshly hit that was about 5.5 feet long. It was a hefty boy. You usually don't find them that big, but it had some girth to it. It took up, you know, most of this one lane. So, you know, it just, no, thank you. My daughter knows so much because of your videos. She knows so much because of you. Well, I appreciate that. I always feel kind of bad because people tell me, I mean, I know that kids are, probably going to watch it because, I mean, it's YouTube. You know, you never know what kid's going to watch. And I've never considered myself, oh, saggy, you don't have to do that. Seriously, man, you guys don't have to do that. I appreciate it though. I really do. I always feel weird knowing that kids watch the videos because like I mean I don't like go out of my way to be like outwardly grotesque. I don't purposefully put curse words in there or go above and beyond for that. I don't, because I know kids watch it. But at the same time, I consider myself like I just talk how I normally do. So sometimes I curse or make inappropriate jokes, and then people will be like, "Oh, my kid watches you." I'm like, "Arr." Like my wife's substitute teacher, and she's like, "Yeah, the kids in my class, I showed them one of your videos." There's a car coming up behind me, so I'm pulling over. Kids in my class let me know that, or like when I showed them that who you were, they were like, "Oh yeah, I watch him," and I'm like, oh my gosh, these are 4th graders. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta try to rein it in a little bit because I do know that kids watch it. And so it's a little weird, but I appreciate it. And I've tried to tone it down a little bit, but now, it's, I guess it's going to be just an overall learning experience when it comes to dealing with the fact that, kids watch it. I'm not going to be a Coyote Peterson type. you know, it's not going to be completely dumbed down that way. So it's not necessarily dumbed down. That's the wrong word. But, you know, I'm still going to, I would consider myself adult entertainment, but I try not to go above and beyond. Got to be aware of that. And I haven't heard anything worse than my nephew's watching on a regular basis. Yeah, exactly. I don't go too far with it. As I said, I don't outwardly try to curse that much, at least, especially in the shorts. Like, I try to keep it down. I used to curse a little bit more, but I don't as much anymore. And part of that is also just because I want the algorithm, you know, it's best for the algorithm not to be outwardly, you know, I don't want to piss people off on purpose, you know, usually. Sometimes I'll make a joke here and there, but I definitely try to keep it relatively PG. And I don't know, especially because I hear that kids watch it and I'm just like, But, you know, and like, don't get me wrong, like, I know I'm at a weird crossroads with that, because I know the most important thing is to get kids to know, to learn about animals, because if you learn about animals when you're young, you'll feel, oh, I think that was a dead snake. Let's see, I'm gonna pull over right here. I'm pretty sure there was a dead snake in the road. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Let's see. I think right there. It's like a phone charging cable or something. Everything looks like a snake when you're looking for a snake. You should catch snapping turtles sometimes. Maybe. Not against it. If that opportunity arose, then sure, go and catch snapping turtles. It just hasn't been something I've been able to be a part of, but definitely not against that. I know there's a lot of people who love turtles. I'm not as much in the turtles as some other people, but excuse me, I'm not against that. I got a few cars coming up behind me, so I'm going to let them pass real quick. No point in jumping in front of a bunch of traffic, man. I need to go to the gym. My back's finally not hurting as much. Build cardio. So when are you getting an airboat? I'd love to get an airboat, but I got a baby coming, so I'm trying to not spend as much money as I, spend money in gas to drive and look for snakes. So I'm not going to get an airboat anytime soon, that's for sure. We got 1, 2, man, there's a whole line of cars coming up behind me right now. I think what I'm going to do, because there's so many cars coming up this way, there's a ton of cars. I'm going to pull a Yui. I'm going to go back the way I just came. Yeah. And I'm going to go back down that road again. Oh, that's grass. Thought that was a snake crawling onto the road. So yeah, I'm going to go back up this way and try to go back up the road I just came, because over the next little bit, there's going to be a lot of boats and people with trailers leaving the island that's at the end of this road here. As the sun goes down, they leave their little vacation spots or their whatever it is, if they're visiting their tourist destination, whatever you want to call it. It's not a big area, but you still get a bunch of people that come back and forth, and I'll have to pull over every 5 seconds. So I'm going to go back up here, right up the road, try to go back up the road I just came, come back down. Maybe I'll go back up all the way to that other road that I first started out on, with it being a little darker, a little later, and try to give that another pass and then make my way back down here. That sounds like a better plan instead of being constantly having to run off the road because of other cars. That's the most frustrating part about any of this, is that when you got a ton of cars going back and forth, you have to pull off the road whenever they come by, but like any snake that would have been in front of you, it's going to be gone anyway. You literally have to catch it perfectly, like as it's crossing and there's no one behind you, which unfortunately just usually doesn't happen. It has to be like perfect timing. So I'm going to go back up this way. But yeah, I mean, I'd love to get a boat in general. That is definitely one of the goals soon enough. But gotta have the baby come first and make sure everything's good. Because, like, I mean, my income is getting more consistent, but it's still like a hit or miss. Some months are better than others. I'm about to have to go to Tennessee for a my baby shower. And, you know, that costs some money to get out there because we're flying up there and then we're driving back because we got a bunch of baby stuff we got to bring back with us. So we have to, and my car isn't big enough, we got to rent a car to drive back down. So it's spending money on stuff with the baby coming in a couple months. It's a lot. So, but with all of that being said, I am in talks with somebody who's a buddy of mine. I've known him for a while. He does like shirts and hats and stuff. Please don't give up on the channel. My daughter would be heartbroken. No. So the YouTube and like all the internet stuff is my full-time job now. I am fortunate enough that is the case. I am not giving up on YouTube at all. But what I'm saying is that I would like to invest more. Ooh, there's a snake right there. Ooh, that looks like a corn snake. Oh, is that another snake? There's another snake right here. There's two snakes. Okay. First, this one. Come on, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Okay, I don't see this snake anymore. It's gone. That second one's right here, though. What? Oh, another rat snake. All right. Oh, look at the colors on that one. Oh, it's got yellows in there. Oh, that's gorgeous. Holy crap. Look at how yellow this one. I've never seen one of these guys up here this yellow. Okay, where's that other one? It was right over here. I gotta try to find this. Luckily, I came back up here. Nope. Ow. He's giving me a kiss. I don't see the other snake. He ran off the road, even though he was the first one I went after. Oh man, that sucks. Well, there was a snake there, but look at the colors on this guy. Look how yellow he is. Well, I don't see that other snake. And I'm looking. It was like right here. I pulled over right as I saw him. But he is no longer here. That was probably another rat snake. I'm looking. Yeah, I don't see any. All right, let's get some. Look at the colors on him. See how the backdrop is like a darker yellowish? That's a pretty snake. Let me get out of the road here. There's somebody pulling up. Look at that guy. Beautiful. These mosquitoes are crazy though. That's cool. All right. Let him go real quick. All right, here, bro. Thanks for letting me catch you. Okay, well, I had stopped because there was another one. I know there was a different one because it was like part way on the road and it's not there anymore. All right, well, got one and my car is full of mosquitoes at the moment. All right, let me get this window down. Luckily, I came back. Your cicadas. Is that them? Yeah, they're cicadas. We got the Florida cicadas don't do the 14 to 17 year thing like they do in other places. These guys are, I gotta pull over. There's a car coming up right behind me. The cicadas here come out every single year. They come out every single year like clockwork. They don't do the 14 to 17 year thing like the ones in other parts of the country. Damn, a lot of traffic tonight. Why? So dumb. Man, my hand smells like musty. I grew up the only annual ones too. Never seen a swarm. Yeah, my buddy in Arkansas, I mean, he's from here, but he moved to Arkansas last year. He sent me a video today of literally swarms of cicadas flying around his house and so loud that like it was deafening to hear over the phone. Which they just don't do that here. It's crazy to think about. All right, so we got 2 rat snakes. Probably in this one, there's another car pulling up behind me. Jesus Christ, there's a lot of cars today. Probably people just coming back from work and stuff, so I can understand that. But it's frustrating. You can't find peace anywhere. Oh, I thought that was a snake. That was just a mark on the road. Damaged a lot of fruit trees, depositing a lot of their eggs in the green growth. Oh, geez. Yeah, it's always funny to me hearing people freak out. And unfortunately, there's nowhere really for me to pull over, and this car is flying up on me. I'm gonna have to speed up a little bit. You know, I don't want to. Oh, he's passing me. Let him pass me. Yeah. Go ahead and you do you, bro. I'm gonna go back up to that original road that I normally come down regardless, which is not too far up the road here. Hopefully I get another snake crossing. Man, that would have been cool to have a double. But at least I got the one. Because I mean, I'm just glad I turned around on that to look for the first one first, because then I would have been like kicking myself thinking I could have got the other one if I went there first. But that's the way it goes. Well, snakes are moving tonight. So I got fingers crossed that there's another car coming up behind me. Jeez. I'm coming up on the other turn now, so. And it looks like that other truck with the trailers going down there. Are people really camping this time of year? I mean, yeah, people camp here, I guess, this time of year, but camping the mosquitoes are crazy right now. I literally opened my door for a minute and there was 100 mosquitoes in here. But, oh no, he's not turned out. Well, this one way up here, I think is. Have you seen any rattlesnakes on the road recently? None alive. Last 2 times I've been here, I saw a pygmy and 2 pygmies and an eastern diamondback. So there's rattlesnakes out. They're just, I haven't seen them, alive, that is. Man, that truck is going down the road I want to go down. What is with this? I don't think you guys realize, it's not like I'm in the middle of the city. I am far away from any major cities. At least 30 miles from any major cities. There's a couple of towns out here. But this isn't necessarily, this would be considered in the sticks for the most part. I'm 2.5 hours away from Tampa, if that tells you anything. I am not close to a city. well, I guess Ocala would be considered the well, no, but Gainesville would be considered the closest city to here, and that's just a college town. That's not even a major city. All right, we'll go back up and down this road and then cut back, and hopefully by that time, some of that traffic out there clears up. It's going to be unfortunate when there's a bunch of dead snakes in the road. But what else can you do? You know, at least I came back able to run into... Oh, that's a snake right there. Ooh, that might be a scarlet snake. That might be a scarlet snake. And I don't know if he's alive or not. That is a scarlet snake. And he is alive. What do you know? I come back. And I end up running into a scarlet snake. What do you know? I come back onto the road and end up coming across a tricolor snake. Look at that. I think this worked. If we don't find anything else on this road, and this was right in the beginning of it too, this snake right here made coming back here worth it. Look at that beautiful snake. So anyone who was watching the live last night where I was identifying snakes, oh, crap. Of course, I'm going to move out of the way real quick. There's a car coming. Of course, there's a car coming. Let him pass. Another freaking trailer. All right. These freaking trailers. All right. So the belly of these guys, if you'll let me show you his belly, has no bands on it. See, it's just white. The bands do not connect on the belly there. On a scarlet king snake, the bands would come all the way down on the side and connect. You see towards the belly there, the white shows through and kind of looks like, man, there's a lot of bugs. Also, the head is more shovel shaped. Look at that beautiful little snake. He's so calm. Almost looks like a Florida worm snake with that shovel-shaped head. We're gonna let him go real quick over. He was coming over onto this side of the road over here. Careful if you're near Pasco. Oh, really? No, I'm nowhere near that. I'm hours north of that. Look at that beautiful little guy. I'm gonna take a picture of him real quick. All right, sorry about that. I was taking a picture. And now I'm gonna let him go. Thanks, bro. Appreciate that. And he's gonna dig himself right under the sand there. Beautiful. All right, let's go find some more. I'm feeling pumped. This is already turning out to be a great night. We got 3 snakes. Oh, look at all those mosquitoes. Get out of my ears. And they're all in the car. A lot of mosquitoes. All right. Windows down. Flush these guys out real quick. I could tell just by the size of that snake when I first saw him and the lack of coloration, I knew it was probably a scarlet snake. Even though that, you know, a lot of these guys are really small, you can usually tell pretty quickly right off the bat what they are, especially if you see them a lot. If you don't see them a lot, you'll never know. Like, you just get surprised when you first see them, but it's pretty easy to tell once you get used to identifying the local stuff in your area. Ooh, that might have been something. I can't tell though. It could have been a pine needle. Let's see. Is that a pine needle or is that a... Nope. That's a pine needle. I've got the fever. I've got the snake fever, guys. I've got the snake fever. And why is there somebody coming down this road again? Jesus. All right. All right. Let's find something else. We got a pretty good night already. We got 2 rat snakes and a scarlet snake. So, some somewhat common stuff. One not so common. Anytime you find a tricolor snake, that's good. I mean, they're not uncommon, but the conditions have to be pretty good for them to really be out. So that makes me feel good about a lot of things. And of course, no corn snakes, just rat snakes. No corn snakes tonight. Corn snakes the other night. I got 2 rat snakes, no corn snakes yet. That would be great to find a corn snake too. Corn snakes aren't uncommon, but they're definitely not common. It depends on your area. It all depends on what area you're in. Of course, there's a guy coming this way. And he's dragging an airboat behind him. All right. Where is Green Ranger? He is out looking for snakes as well, I believe. That's what he said earlier in our Discord. Hey, if you want to join the Discord, the link is in the description below. He was letting us know what he was doing tonight. And he's in an area that probably doesn't have good service, so I doubt we'll know if he finds anything until a little later. Yeah, he's looking for snakes. Alright. But again, in a different part. He was relatively close to where I was the other day. Oh, you are in the Discord? Gotcha. Well, he said that a little earlier. If your name is different on here, I might not recognize you. Which one are you? He said something in the Discord. Yeah, he just said something. Gotcha. I'm using my phone. I got to get like a separate setup so I can use my phone normally when I'm doing this. So I can, you know, maybe I'll bring my tablet next time so I can, I don't know. I got to figure out if I'm going to do more streaming like this, which I'd like to. I got to figure out like a live streaming setup that's a little easier, and I can use my phone in case, you know, something happens, because right now it's just my phone. What is this? Is that a leaf? That is a leaf. Ooh, that was nothing. Ooh, there's a dead big snake in the road right here. A big snake. Up, there's the corn snake. He was just hit by a car and he's still twitching. Oh, that's frustrating. That's very sad. It happens, unfortunately. I'm gonna get this guy out of there. That is a big fat, what was a healthy corn snake. That sucks. That sucks. Well, there was the corn snake. That truck that just passed by with that boat hit it, because it literally was still moving. That's frustrating. That's just how it goes, though, unfortunately. Ugh. That sucks. Damn, that puts a damper on things. That was a big, healthy corn snake. F in the chats for that big, thick corn. Ooh, thanks to Freebie for joining the Discord. It's becoming Greeble. Gotcha. I'm not really able to, as I said, check that right now, so thank you for that. But what I would like to say is thank you guys for starting to make that Discord nice and lively. It's popping a little bit, which is always cool to see. Oh, so speaking of which, well, I mean, not that it has to do with the Discord. Talked to a buddy of mine today about getting some basic hat design, a hat that it just says DNA Reptiles on it. I don't know what the price would be yet or anything like that, but if you guys, are you guys interested in hats or are you interested in shirt? Hey Nippa, how you doing? And we've got some snakes already tonight. 2 rat snakes, a scarlet snake, and well, it didn't hit it, but somebody in front of me hit a big, giant, meaty corn snake. And that moon, look how bright and orange that moon is right now. That's the moon. Jeez. So let me know what kind of merch you guys would like to see, or if you guys would be interested in merch at all. So if not, I get it. I just figured that if people were interested, I would have the option available. So would you rather have shirts or hats or stickers? All 3? What would you guys be interested in? If you guys could let me know that. I'm also gonna, ask in, a community question as well for that. Yeah, hats, okay. Yeah, he's got like a leather designed hat. So it's not like just printed on there, but it's got like a leather outline on it, and it says DNA Reptiles. And I'm gonna see if he can put my little logo thing right next to it. Just the 2 snakes wrapping around each other. Figured that would be pretty cool looking. Something simple. So it's just like a normal hat with like that simple design, so it's not like blown in your face. Nice. Okay. Well, he's gonna get back to me on that, and hopefully, and shirts. I'll get some stuff out there. I'm gonna try here very shortly to get a new logo design. Something that's a little bit. I'm not a big fan of my image being on the logo that we have. Not like, on a shirt. I don't mind it being in like the profile picture, but like, I think it's kind of cringe to have some people walking around with a face on it. Even if it's cartoon. I'd like to get a shirt with the symbol in the corner. Yeah, that's more of what I'm thinking too. And maybe, I don't know, either like a logo that doesn't involve a caricature of me. Possibly, nothing crazy. Use AI to make it cooler. Yeah, I got a few general ideas, and I'm gonna get that going because I would like to update that stuff, and as I said, get some basic stuff out. I'm not really thinking about it in terms of making money. I just want to, if there's people who want to support me, which lately it's been trying to build more of the community aspect of it. I think that would be pretty cool. Hey man, thank you. I appreciate that. I don't know what kind of currency that is, but that's pretty sweet. Thank you. Is that pounds? Is that what that means? Or I don't know if pounds or I don't know what currency that is, to be quite honest with you, but thank you. Thank you very much. That means a lot. It really does. And that moon is bright right now. Look at that moon. Ooh, there's another snake. And I think it's another scarlet snake. Yep. Another one. Look at that. Another little one. This one's smaller than the last one. Look how pretty that thing is. Look how pretty that snake is. Look at that. I'm gonna get There we go. Sorry about that. I don't know why it accidentally pushes that. So we got 2 scarlet snakes, 2 rat snakes. I mean, that's what I was saying earlier. You never know unless you go out. And like the other night, we came out to the exact same spot. Not the last time, but the time before that. And it was dead for most of the night. Look at that moon. To me, it looks huge. And it's big, bright, and orange. That is gorgeous. Look at that. But that's the point, is that if you don't go out, you're never going to know what you're going to find. And also, it's 9:30, and I'm usually partway down the road. Yeah, in the corn, unfortunately dead. I don't really count dead stuff. Because if I counted dead stuff, I could count a lot more snakes. I'll talk about them, but man, feeling good. All right, let's go down the main road. Some time has passed. Let's see what else is on the main road. Great job. I live in Florida too. We are lucky to have a population of snail kites, formerly Everglades kites, and they're found in Paynes Prairie or Central Florida near Gainesville. Yep, I'm not too far away from there. Not too far away from there. I've been through Paynes Prairie a bunch of times. Yeah, snail kites are cool. The ones that are in the Everglades are evolving to have longer beaks to be able to eat the invasive apple snails that are larger than our native ones. Their population really took a downturn, and then all of a sudden now they're starting to make a comeback, and partially to do with the fact that they have longer beaks. I'm in Fort Lauderdale. Nice. Are you visiting? I am hours away from there. That's how you spell Prairie, Florida. What? Oh, Paynes Prairie. Oh. What are we, grammar police in here, Mr. Saget? Huh? Sometimes I leave depending on what it is. Like most of the time I don't even pay attention to the captions. I just auto do them. But sometimes I go through and really painstakingly move it, because when I don't, people freak out. Like, your captions are off. I'm like, oh, sorry. Yeah, I probably should pay closer attention to that. People get really upset. I remember this was like when things were really starting to blow up for me. There was this deaf girl that commented on one of my videos that the captions were off. Sometimes they are hilarious. Can't remember. One of the last shorts had a funny one. Yeah, sometimes they're funny. Sometimes I'll leave them. But this deaf girl commented on one of my videos saying that the captions were off. And I'm like, okay, so, like, they're on my end. I turn them on every video. So if they're not on your end, that's not my fault. She made this whole video and like had her like group of deaf people attack me, saying that I was ableist and all that kind of stuff because I wasn't making room for people who couldn't hear, you know, for deaf people to be able to read the content. I'm like, it wasn't on purpose. It was something on your end, because on my end it's there. But yeah, it was like a whole thing. Like, she tried to attack me because I was like, so what's the problem? You're ableist. Like, no, I'm not. And you being an a-hole, I have every reason to not really care what you have to say. You should have been nicer about it, and then maybe it wouldn't turn into this. But I leave them on every single one. I mean, shoot, when I watch movies, I would prefer to have the captions on, because otherwise I can't hear what the words are, or it's just easier to read them. Twist these nuts. Oh my God. Yep, pretty much. Man. All right. So we got a few snakes already. Let's hope we get a few more good ones tonight. See, it's 78 degrees out, so it's still kind of warm, but the snakes are already moving, which is great. And 2 scarlet snakes. Yeah, when the scarlet snakes move, you tend to find multiple. Like, the conditions just have to be right for them to start moving. I wonder, is the last time that scarlet snakes were moving, we also found the scarlet king snakes out here. And I would feel very good about things if I found a scarlet king snake tonight. I would be very, very happy with that. So fingers crossed that ends up happening. This is where those rat snakes crossed right here. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Nope. All right. Turn off these brights while I come up to the intersection. Of course, a car is coming, but at least it's coming now instead of after I turned. I think there's cars coming the other way too, but I don't have to worry about that as much. Is there anybody coming that way? I don't think so. All right. Oh, there's a few cars coming that other way. Let's just hope that there's not snakes on that other side that are getting mashed up right now because of these other cars. All right. See, well, there's been a lot of cars I know coming back and forth on this road, so if something has passed in the time where I wasn't here, you know, from the last time, there's probably going to be something smashed in the road. Let's just hope that that's not the case. Come on, give me something good. Let's get a cottonmouth tonight. I haven't got a cottonmouth in a hot minute. That'd be pretty sweet. It's funny, there was a point in time where, like, I couldn't get away from cottonmouths. All I could do was find cotton. Like, that was the most common thing that I found. That and water snakes. And I found a couple water snakes here, but they were dead by the time I got to them. I haven't found a live water snake this year, I don't think. I'm trying to remember. I don't, maybe, well, in the Everglades I have. Yeah, no, I have found a couple this year, but it's been a hot minute since I found a water snake, and those are usually some of the most common snakes. So we'll see, I guess. I think it just has to do with the fact that they're deeper into the mud and the muck. I've got an Inspector Gadget go snake grabber, so bring the cottonmouth. Yeah, I do. Oh, there's a couple of deer back there. There's some deer. Oh, you can't see them. I'm not going to slam my brakes in the middle of the road to go look at some deer. I did that once. People were like, that's illegal. You're not supposed to shine them. Fort Myers is better than what? Than Fort Lauderdale? Is that what you mean? I mean, if I'm going to put my claim into this, the Gulf Coast is better than the Atlantic Coast. West Coast over East Coast. But Fort Myers, Naples, all that stuff, that's where all the old people live. There's too many people down there for my liking. Not that there's anything wrong with the place. There's just too many old people. There's already too many old people up here. But there's just there's so much in population there, like people in general. But I was watching a on the way up here. I was watching a Meat Canyon video on his Papa Meat channel. He was talking about Clearwater and how the scientists overrun it and how it was like the creepiest, one of the creepier cities in America. And it's like, a lot of the points that he was saying was true. Like, it's like a ghost town out there. It's like a ghost town. Like, no joke. You go out and the storefronts are all like sham. Like, they're just empty, hollowed out buildings that look like there's stuff going on there. It is that he was right about that. Then he's like, but then it is Florida. I'm like, people just hate Florida, which is fine. But there's a reason everyone wants to be down here. So you can crap on Florida all you want. I'm just coding and listening and watching when you catch noodles. Nice. Again, thank you for watching. And thank you for sending some money. That will go a long way for gas. That's my gas money to get out here and do this. Ooh, that's a dead snake in the road. What is this? It was dark. I want to see what it is. Turn my brights off. There we go. All right. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's a rat snake. Another one of those more yellowish colored ones. Unfortunate. Yes, I just touched a dead snake. I moved the snakes out of the road, so when I come back here, I'm not confused on whether that's something that I already got or not. Plus, if any animal stops to eat it, they're not going to turn into, or they're not going to share the same fate, because a lot of animals will come down and eat other animals that are dead in the road. And the last thing I want is more dead animals. So I try to move them out of the road if I can. Well, another rat snake. I mean, it doesn't count because it wasn't alive, but snakes are definitely moving tonight. And it's been a hot minute since I found anything up on this end, so that's encouraging. Let's see, what is that? Nothing. But yeah, he was talking about how it's a ghost town and like talking about all the properties they bought. And I'm like, yeah, it's weird to think. Like, I was born right there. Like, I was born in downtown Clearwater. And we used to drive by, and when it was raining, this is Maine, but we'd splash them. All the Scientologists walking on the side of the road. Did some mean things back in the day. I mean, nothing crazy, nothing illegal. Just, it wasn't the nicest thing. But we saw it as like, they're invaders. Discord is a place where we can just have normal conversations, updates about what's going on. I post in there when I'm going, made a video or going live. There's different things where if you want to, it's just a community thing. If you want to be a little bit more a part of the community and want to have conversations with us, or even off-topic stuff, like stuff that you like to do, and there's a place for all that. So it's a community building thing. So if you want to, you can. If you don't want to, you could do that as well. That was a dead ribbon snake in the road back there. Get something else in the road alive. Now there are some cool people spread on the U.S. who get to go out and find animals and post pictures of them. Yep. And also, I believe from the only going to get bigger. Yep. And from the stuff that you sent me, you're in the UK, I presume, and I'm sure there's some cool stuff over there that, you know, animal-wise, that you'd like to share every once in a while. Even if it's just at the parks where all those invasive goose and stuff, but they're mostly goose for some reason. I've heard there's parrots out there too. Thank you, I appreciate that. We're just trying to build a bit off of that. You know, I think we got like, what, close to 35 people in there now, something like that. No. Yep, link is in the description. I try to post the new link every single time I do anything. But I wish that the links would stay longer. Or I wonder if you have to pay to have a link that's like the same for every single one. That might be it. But regardless, try to keep that updated. I think you can change the duration somehow. I have, and I thought I did it for the longest one, but it still would change it. I went through and did the duration at one point, but someone was like, oh, the link is old, it doesn't work. I'm like, oh shoot, I gotta go back and see if it changed it or something. But I know that I made you a manager, so you're even more than a moderator. We got Chaz and Green Ranger are mods, and you are a manager. Green Ranger was telling me, yeah, it said that you can basically do anything in there. You can also create channels and stuff like that. I got a motorcycle coming up behind me. Let him pass. Thanks, bro, for not being a D-bag and riding up on me the entire time. A lot of people will do that. They'll just sit right behind you, and it's like, bro, you're not. Just go around me. Hey, Alex, how you doing? How's your day been? Let's see, we'll get to these spots. 76 now, so the temperature's dropping a little bit, but it should be about perfect for the normal spot that we cruise back and forth on. But because it's a little later, snakes should be moving. I mean, snakes have been moving all night, so it wouldn't surprise me if we start seeing stuff down here. That little area I just went through was kind of a town. But he's been good. How are you? I'm doing pretty good. Found some snakes already. It's been a successful night already. And the hope is we have an even more successful night. That's all I care about. Finding some snakes, entertaining you fine folk. Try to be as cringy as possible by saying fine folk. What snakes have we found? 2 rat snakes and 2 scarlet snakes. So it hasn't even been a bad night, even though, you know, it's been decent. I cannot complain. Just hoping now, you know, a dead corn and a dead rat snake. I missed there was a stop where I stopped for one snake. That snake got off the road, but there was one right in front of me as I pulled over and was able to grab that one. But this area right here tends to be where I start seeing other stuff. That area back there, there's like not necessarily a town, but it's just there's more homes and stuff, so it tends not to be as snaky as it is down here. And I asked, do you smoke weed? It's fine, and I saw a gator snake. A gator, garter snake. Do I smoke the marijuana? I mean, I have. I used to a lot more. I haven't in a while. Just made me lazy. I was just content with doing nothing. So it's been a good 6 months since I have, but I mean, I'm definitely a fan. Just don't do it really anymore after the long day. Yeah, I mean, it was all right, but there was definitely I would definitely just, like, especially when I started doing this full time, it just made me lazy, and I would just zone out and, like, just be doing nothing all day. And I'm like, nah, I need to stay focused. And also, I was getting kind of tight on money, and I'm like, I'm not spending money on this. I got other things I need to spend money on. So I used to definitely help me sleep a bit, but I also would eat a lot, which is not good. And I was on that Delta 8 stuff for a while. But I'm not against it. I would if the opportunity presented itself, but definitely not as much as I used to. Yeah, there's just too many things to worry about bill-wise. Things are too expensive right now for me to be spending money on that useless stuff. Now I just spend too much money on Zyn. Get my nicotine fix. I used to dip, so I'd rather do nicotine pouches than dip. But it's been well over a year since I've dipped, so that's going in the right direction at least. What is that noise? Oh. I was hearing noises, like a raspy sound. I'm like, is that my car? No, there's just cicadas outside. Kind of was making me worry that my car was about to blow up on me or something. I don't know if you can hear it. Can you guys hear that? No, there's nothing wrong with that. Ask away. Hear those big old cicadas going off. They have made their way out of the ground. I have only been to the Tampa Zoo. I mean, I've always known it as Lowry Park, but it's just called Zoo Tampa now. It's pretty cool. I like it. All right, snakes. I know you're here. You guys were moving earlier. Let me get one of you guys across the road. Come on. I think everything is my truck making that noise. Yeah, exactly. I was freaking out a little bit. I'm like, oh no. Don't let it be so. Yeah, thank you for turning your brights off, dude. I was about to say I'm getting blinded, but I can't tell if your brights are on. Could have turned it off way while ago. It's the earliest time of day. I mean, I don't know, pretty early. I mean, depends on what I'm going for. If I get up early to look for snakes, it's usually during like October. I'll look for hognose snakes. And I mean, I've seen snakes on the road, you know, like 7, 8 in the morning, like right away, even before the sun comes up. You're going barefoot looking for a 20-footer. Soon enough. I'm supposed to be going herping with Garrett sometime soon. We've talked about it. Well, he's always so busy. I don't know when that's going to happen. We're supposed to be doing some stuff. We've talked about it, but whether or not stuff happens is a whole nother thing. You can plan all you want. But no, I'm not going to go barefoot. I'm not as bold in that regard. Yeah, listen to this. Can you all hear that? Let me put this out the window real quick. I don't know if y'all can hear that. Do you have any tips on finding water snakes? Look with, if you use like, just walk around ponds and stuff where you know they're at night especially, and just spotlight down near the water. I was Finland versus Sweden ice hockey match yesterday, so I hope a headache. Oh. Gosh. And then I hope so too. That would be a lot of fun. But you know, he's a busy guy. You know, he's got a lot going on. So we talk every once in a while, but I'm also not going to be like constantly asking him to do stuff, because that's kind of cringe. So if it happens, it happens. I'm going to keep on doing my thing, and hopefully that ends up happening. But yeah, seriously, download iNaturalist, and wait, maybe herping up here, and it's difficult to find the prettier snakes. We only have one species of lizard, the only 5 living snakes I've only ever found 2, and actively herping all my life. Yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes, especially when you live in colder environments. But what I would do if I were you would be to put down some tin in decent habitat where you know that reptiles should be. And because it stays cooler for a long time, you know, when those animals are above ground, when they're not hibernating or whatever you want to call it for reptiles, brumating, the hope is that the tin they'll go to it, because tin warms up quick in the sun, and it creates like a little hide for them, so it's a nice warm place for them to go. So you put down some tin, even some wood, it doesn't matter, but tin is the best, especially in colder environments. And if you got reptiles in your area and you have that tin out there long enough, they'll know where it is and they'll go back to it. Especially like garter snakes and stuff. Garter snakes love that stuff. So I'll put out some tin if you want to increase your odds. But yeah, download iNaturalist. And don't use it to pinpoint exact locations, because most of the time that's just look up to see areas where people are claiming to find them, so that you're not like dismayed, be like, I don't even know if there's snakes here. Any tips on finding garter snakes in terms of weather and place? Yeah, just leave herping for professionals. I would say, especially if you're up in Michigan, warm weather. I mean, which you're only going to get a few months that they're going to be active. So like, you know, late spring, summer through fall. And just go to, again, download iNaturalist. That's a great way for you to pinpoint some general areas that you should go looking through. So go download iNaturalist, look to see where people are claiming to find whatever it is you want to find in the general area. Usually there'll be multiple pins in a spot. And if there's not, at least you know that people have found them in the area. And just go for a hike through that area or something like that. That's definitely what I would do if you want to learn. And like for me, for instance, when I'm looking for southern hognose snakes in October, when I know I've never found one personally, except I found one dead. I've never found one alive. but I know the area that they're in because partially because I looked on there, saw that there's like a certain area, like it's shaped like a crescent where people are finding them. It's because the habitat's perfect for them in this certain little area. And I just road cruise the dirt roads and everything during, the time of year when they're usually above ground. And that's what I do. Again, I haven't found one alive yet, but I haven't put in as much effort as a lot of people do because it's not far away from the house, but it's far enough where it's not exactly easy for me to get there. Damn, there's somebody behind me now. And there's a bunch of cars coming this opposite way. I can't just pull over. Damn it. All right, I gotta speed up a bit. It's not like I'm gonna be able to stop with a guy right behind me, This is what I do hate. There's so many cars right now. Why are there so many cars coming down this road? I hate this. I'm going to put my seatbelt on. This is the most frustrating thing. Why are there so many cars down this road right now? And I'm going to turn around up here as soon as I let this truck pass me, which he'll probably try to pass me right here. You're not going to pass me, bro? Go around me. Thank you. That's a dead snake in the road right there. Damn, that's a dead snake back there. I didn't do it. That's so frustrating. Had to zoom through a bunch of areas I didn't want to zoom through because of that freaking truck right up on me, and there was no way for him to pass until just then. I made my way down here a little faster than I normally would, so I guess we'll cruise this a little bit more and turn around a little further up here. There's at least nobody coming right now, so that's good. Well, behind me, that is. Big snakes, I'll be able to see on the road if I'm going, 50, 60. But small snakes, I said how many snakes get hit? Yeah, a lot of snakes get hit. But it really all depends on, like, if it's a small snake, good chance, or not good chance to see them. They're just, unless I'm like, end up accidentally looking right at it. There's no way that's going to happen going that fast. And also, it's not like I can stop. But I'm going that fast and there's a car right behind me. All right, there's a little curve in the road up here. We're about at the end of this, and we're going to turn around up here. I just don't want to turn around right here because if I do, and there's a car right around this corner, it's going to be right behind me. Saw a Gila monster when you were in Arizona? That's cool. Not many people do. Yeah, and there's a car right here. I'm waiting for that car to pass before I turn around. I believe it. So most people never get that opportunity. Even people who live in Arizona don't get that opportunity that often, if ever. There's a lot of animals that are right in front of your nose that or right in the general area you're at that you'd have no idea about unless you went out and looked for them. And even when you go out and look for them, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to find one. I know there's a lot of species of snakes out here. Going to spots, I know I'm passing a ton of snakes. I just haven't looked in that area enough. I've been in the Everglades a bunch. There's a bunch of really cool stuff I know is down there that I've never seen before. Jeez. All right. All right, I'll turn around right here. And that's the thing. Same thing with fishing, too. It's literally the same concept. That fish you never caught before, that redfish, that snook, that trout, that bass, that thing, whatever it is, that 10-pound bass, you know it's in that lake. You know people have caught giant bass in that lake before. But are you going to catch it? Probably not. There's people who spend their entire lives trying to get that one thing, and then the person gets it by accident that never even intended to. It's the most frustrating thing to see some of these Facebook groups. Like, people have no idea what it is they're looking at. They find an indigo snake in their yard. They're like, what's this? It's like, bro, you have no idea how many people spent most of their lives looking for that exact same animal right there. And we'll probably never find one in the wild. Of course, there's somebody who is not close, but he's coming up behind me. There's just a lot of traffic on this road today. I don't know why. I wonder if there's like an event or something coming up this weekend. People are getting here for that. All the old people in their camper vans. Come on. Let's get a snake up here. It's been a minute. Here, stinky, stinky, stink. Today's Thursday, right? Yeah, Thursday. I did apply for my Class 3 wildlife permit. That'll give me the ability to sell. It'll be the permit where I can sell reptiles. So, like, I can go out and go catch native and invasive species and sell them. So, soon enough, if you guys want some of our Florida non-natives, or even some of the Florida natives, stuff that I catch, I can legally sell them to you. So if you want a Florida brown anole, or a green anole, or even an invasive, like in a gamma, or a night anole, or basilisk. I can sell it. Some sort of adder in Kenya, and we might not run a safari. Jesus Christ, you've been all over the place. You went to Kenya on a safari? Turn right here and let this car pass me that's coming up behind me. I don't feel like having someone behind me. There we go. But yeah, I'll be able to sell reptiles here pretty soon. Hopefully, I got to get accepted for the permit, and it'll take a few weeks for that. But I'll probably end up catching a bunch of brown and oles and selling them out of state. Oh, you were 10, gotcha. It's pretty cool though. That is pretty cool. Post photos from the trip in the Discord. Nice. Hey, snaky, snaky, snake. Exactly. It's crazy how you have all that action all at once and all of a sudden it just like dies on you. I mean, you never know. There could be another round of it. Let's hope there's another round of it. I'm going to go up and down this road one more time before I head back, but we got a little bit of time here. And I keep on hearing these cicadas and thinking that my car's about to blow up on me. A lot of cicadas. Which is it's different than, even a few days ago being out here. There were no cicadas last time. Not like this. It's just more of the sound of the summer. Man, there are just a lot of cars on this road tonight. More than there has been for sure. Snaky, snaky, snake. Brights activated. Yeah, I hope so. Got some cool stuff today though, at least there's that, but gotta have let's have a topper. Let's have something to top it off. I know there's something. I haven't even seen anything. Yeah, they will. I haven't even seen anything dead here, which I guess is a good thing. But with the amount of cars, I would suspect more dead stuff on the road than there has been. I know on the left-hand side, come up here, should be that one that I saw when that truck was behind me. I want to at least get a look at what it was. If I see that coming up, I'll take a look real quick. Shouldn't be that far ahead. Not even a ribbon snake, though. I'm surprised. I mean, I've seen a couple dead, but no live ribbon snakes in the road either, which is kind of unusual. Usually there's some ribbon snake activity. They're out here. Come on. Man, these cicadas are loud. I know there's a lot of snakes that do like to eat cicadas. Oh, is this that dead snake right here? Yeah. Oh, nope, that's a cottonmouth. And that is a very much alive snake. Cottonmouth, guys. That is a live cottonmouth. There we go. We got ourselves a big old fat cottonmouth. Look at the size of that guy. That is a giant cottonmouth. Look at the size of this thing. I mean, he's every bit of, he's 3 feet. That is a big cottonmouth. Look at how chill he is too. You want to cross the road there? Here, bro. I'll help you cross the road. How about that? There we go. Look at that. Helped him cross the road. Look at the size of that snake. Look at that. Look how chill he is. Look at the big old Zorro mask on him. He's smelling the snake stick right now like, what is that? He's all covered in mud because there's not much water back here to... Oh, hi. There you go. Go that way. Good job. See ya, bro. Beautiful snake. Hell yeah. How about that, guys? We got ourselves a cottonmouth. That's what that's all about. Think those snakes ever go back on the road? Yeah, they might. But he was trying to cross that way. So my hope is that he doesn't. And he was trying to cross, but roads were nice, so he's just slowly crossing. I brought him, but he was going to the other side, so hopefully he just stays over that way. Doesn't come back out. I thought that was that dead snake I saw earlier. But because I saw, I think that's what I was thinking it was at first, but obviously that guy was very much alive. And there was a dead snake back there. Little guy. But we'll keep on going. Good stuff though. Nice to see that there's more. He was so chill too. That's how most cottonmouths are. They don't try to attack you or anything like that. Some might be a little bit more defensive than others, you know, showing their mouths and rattling their tail. That one at the very end was like, what? And he kind of stared up at me for a second and he tried to move on. That's how most of people think they chase you. They don't. They pick a direction they want to go. And if you just so happen to be in the way of the direction they want to go, it might look like they're chasing you. If you're in a boat or something, they'll go towards what they think is dry land. They'll swim towards you because you're something that's out of the water. They're not trying to attack you. They're just trying to get to the high point. And you just happen to be in the way of that. They're not chasing you down to go after you, but then being like, I've had them chase me. They're chasing their nest, or chasing me away from their nest. And it's like, cottonmouths don't have nests. They don't lay eggs. They give live birth. So that is not true. Most vipers give live birth. Not all, but most. All right, cool. Well, we got that cottonmouth down. That was a nice, it wasn't as thick as he could be, but it was still a healthy snake. And it was large. Do not want to get bit by that guy. But they rarely ever bite. They're more show-offy than anything. Hey, did you find anything? It's been a good snake night so far. I hope you found some stuff and, you know, where you went. Nothing wrong with that. What do you mean only pygmies? I haven't seen a live pygmy at all this year, but I haven't really looked for them. So that's good. I got to get out there. About 12 of them. What? You got pictures, I'm assuming. God, that's awesome. I have not seen a single pygmy this year alive. See, we got 2 rat snakes, 2 scarlet snakes, and just got a cottonmouth. So it hasn't been a completely dead night. It's been, you know, somewhat eventful. Nothing wrong with that, though. 12 pygmy, that's pretty good. Any size to them, or are they all on the smaller end? A lot of babies. Smaller middle, yeah. Yeah, I've only found a few large pygmies before. I know that sounds counterintuitive, being they're pygmy rattlesnakes, but big ones will get like a foot long. They don't usually get that big, but they can. And it's funny because the few times when you find a baby Eastern Diamondback, oftentimes I've seen a very eventful night and some awesome streams. Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad that you've stuck around. But it's funny because like sometimes I'll come up on a baby Eastern Diamondback and think it's biggest pygmy I've ever seen. Usually when I think it's a giant pygmy, it's usually a baby eastern diamondback. But in the Tampa Zoo, Lowry Park Zoo, they have a pygmy rattlesnake in there that is no joke, the size of a baby eastern diamondback. It is huge. So they do get some size to them, but you usually don't see, at least out here, you don't see rattlesnakes crossing at night that much. Ooh, that was a dead snake I saw earlier. I want to check that out. It looked orange. Let's see, what is this? Up. That is a freshly hit baby corn snake. Yeah, that was a dead corn snake. I mean, it's a lot smaller than the one I found earlier. Man, dead corn snakes. I don't see too many corn snakes out here. Now I find 2 in one night and they're both hit by a car. That's sad. It sucks, but it does happen. When I loop back around, I'll come across that snake again. I'll get out and take a look at it. But that's on the other side of the road. I might as well wait until we're on that side. I'm not going to go too much farther up here before I turn around and hit this part of the road again. Taking the grandson to the reptile center to land in the morning. I'll be sure to get some pictures. Video of the venom extraction. Nice! That'll be a good time. That'll be a really good time. Hey, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, Zach. Seriously. If it wasn't for people like you, none of this would be possible. I mean, I would still make it as much as I possibly could because I do enjoy it. But hearing comments like that really make it worth it. I never thought I would be in the situation I am in currently, to be quite honest with you. So it means a lot when people say that kind of stuff. Rich loam needs rain bad. I've never seen it so dry. Yeah, there hasn't been much rain anywhere. Little pockets here and there, but it has been dry. And then I also saw in the forecast that they're saying that this hurricane season is going to be one of the worst hurricane seasons ever, but pretty sure they've said that every year for the past few years and it hasn't been. So it feels like some fear mongering, but you never know. I mean, I hope it's not terrible, but you always hope it's not bad. All right, last pass. Let's get another snake in hand, and I will stop and look at this dead corn snake real quick. Yeah, I say the hurricane's going to be bad this year, but I don't know. It's a good thing about Richland being so dry. It's very accessible right now. Very true. America is like different worlds for tiny little European men. Hey, you know, to me, it's funny that you mentioned that because, you know, I'm sure if you're on social media, you see a lot of the banter back and forth between Americans and the rest of the world, basically. Everyone craps on Americans, which, you know, it is what it is. But like the way that European life is, at least from my perspective, it's just, that's incredible to me, because like oh, here's that dead corn snake. There. There's that guy right there. That was a pretty one. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate, but it does happen. It's weird to me that, like, to you, visiting another country is no big deal. Like, you don't have to go that far. Visiting another state to me would be like you visiting another country, because they're so close. And because everything is so close together, and a lot of the cities are so old, the infrastructure was built around public transportation, because everyone just wanted to get everywhere, and there's a lot of walking. No, the drone's still stuck up in the tree. But, you know, everything's built around walking, and, you know, everything is so old compared to here in the US. It is incredible. I think it seems like a beautiful place. Like, you know, all the countries out there and all the cities seem to be beautiful. But for me, like, the spot that I'm in right now, just, I want to, so you get an understanding of the perspective a little bit. I am about an hour and a half away from my house. And this was like, hour and a half is nothing. Hour and a half, if you're within an hour and a half of a place that you live, driving wise, like me driving myself an hour and a half away, this is nothing. Now, you know, once you get past that hour and a half mark, it becomes a bit tedious. But I am close to 50 miles, 50, 60 miles or so away from my house. And this is nothing to me. I drive to, like, my son lives an hour and a half away from me. And when I have him, I drive almost 60 miles to pick him up. And that's not a big deal. Now, I don't know what that is in kilometers, to be quite honest with you. So, there's good food up when you're where you're at. Yes, there is a lot of good food. A lot of good seafood out here too. But yeah, it's like 50, 60 miles. That's not a problem. 50, 60 miles to you, I'm sure that's a bit more of an issue. Like, if you had to drive that far to get somewhere, that's like a whole thing. So is that a far way for you? Almost 100 kilometers? Is that a far way for you to drive? Because from my understanding, that tends to be kind of far for, like, a lot of things. At least, like, that distance is like the distance between your major cities. At least from my understanding. I could be completely wrong on that. But, like, that's nothing. I'm close to 3 hours away from Tampa right now, which is one of our major cities near here. About the same distance from Orlando. Like, where I'm at, if I might be in Florida, but I am right where I'm at right now is almost 7 hours away from the Everglades, south. And to get to Key West, that's almost 10 hours from where I'm at right now. And I'm just north of the halfway point of the state. Like, I believe Florida is about the size of Italy, like, lengthwise, from one tip to the other. It's something like that. So the distances are just massive. I'm about to go up to Tennessee in a couple of weeks to, but, I'm about to go to Tennessee in a couple of weeks, to do my, my baby shower. Yeah, no joke. Look, okay. You look up on Google Maps and tell me I'm wrong here. Look up, I'm just going to say the closest major city to me which is about the same. Actually, look up Gainesville, Florida to Key West and tell me how long of a drive that is. I'm not joking. Gainesville, Florida, and that's even putting, I'm probably a little farther out because I'm not near the highway. Gainesville's right on the interstate. But just look up Gainesville, Florida to Key West. Just finished repotting a bunch of my figs. Nice. But seriously, look up Gainesville, Florida to Key West, Florida, and tell me that the time and the distance. I mean, it's like 500 miles, something like that. Maybe not 500. I think it might be close to 500. 450, something like that. It's a bit of a distance. That's the thing, is like, Florida's a huge state. From the tip of Pensacola to the other side is close to a 12-hour drive, I believe. It's an all-day trip depending on traffic. Exactly. That's just in the same state. Now, I'm going up to Tennessee, and usually I'm flying up there this time, but I'll be driving on the way back because I'll have a bunch of baby stuff. And that drive is normally about 12 and a half hours. Yeah, it's a bit of a trek. And I would rather do that than fly. But, you know, that's just the way America's built. It's not built for, you know, I mean, sure, you can take a train or a Greyhound bus or something like that. But those are kind of gross. I don't want to be cooped up. Why do you have to go to Tennessee to watch a baby? No, we're having a baby shower. My wife is from Tennessee, and she has a lot more friends and family than I do. She has a lot more friends and family. It's like a 2-day drive from where I live. I am into Florida. Jeez. Yeah, but she has her friends and family up there. We'll get a lot more stuff for the baby. So that's why we're going up there. Yeah, it's usually nice. We've had a lot of tornadoes up in that area recently, so not looking forward to that. And then my parents are driving up there, so I kind of feel bad for that. I didn't know they were coming until recently. All right, let's get one more snake, please. One more snake will do it. Yeah, I'd rather drive too. I'm not a big fan of flying, but, you know, it is what it is. I can fly every once in a while. I'll be fine. It's only like, it's under a 2-hour flight. It's like hour and a half, hour 45, something like that. I would like to visit Europe at some point in time. I would like to. It's just, it's expensive. Yeah, Georgia, I try to avoid, I don't drive through Atlanta. I go up just south of Atlanta, and then I'll cut through and go through Alabama, Mississippi, and then Tennessee. I've been to Norway a few times, never mainland Europe. Yeah, I'd like to go to Europe at some point, but I don't know, just hasn't happened yet. But at some point it will. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, I've never been out of the country. I'd like to at some point soon. Hopefully, eventually my career takes me down that path and I start visiting other places. That'd be pretty sweet. I have a passport. I need to get one. My field in grad school was in Lofoten archipelago north of the Arctic Circle. Spent a few weeks in Trondheim, Ulsa, Bergen as well. Incredibly beautiful. They do it right. Yeah, I've heard it's beautiful out there. It seems a bit cold for my liking, but I'd at least like the look. Yeah, I've heard, I mean, that's the thing, is like how much of it's true, how much of it's not. I'm sure Europeans here think the same thing about America. They probably think it's going to crap, but you know, it's I think America's fantastic. You know, sure some parts of it are, but I'm sure it's the same thing over there where like some parts of it, they're like, yeah, don't go there, it's not great. And then other parts are like, you know, it's fantastic. With the other Power Rangers, obviously. Exactly. You've been all over the place fighting crime, Green Ranger. But like, you know, you've also spent a lot of time in Japan too. I love USA every way. Yeah, I was on a TikTok live earlier. Some people I used to do a lot more TikTok lives with, and one of the people they had up there was from South Africa, and they're like, "Can you please tell your politicians to stop meddling with Africa and all these other countries? Just stop meddling with us." I'm like, I'm pretty sure the only reason, like, that most people don't want anything to do with other countries now. Like, we don't want to be meddling in anything, but half the countries in Africa are begging for help. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like we're just, sure, there's some shady business going on in a lot of those places. I know that. But like, acting like Africa, like the continent itself, is doing so well right now and doesn't need any help. Yeah, right. A lot of these other, like, I saw something about like some European country was saying, like, speaking for NATO, saying that these other European countries need to stop pretending like NATO isn't protecting them, these neutral countries, and they need to pitch in too. I'm like, what are you like, you're one to talk. Oh, there's that dead snake. Ooh, I think it's a mud snake. Oh, I gotta go check this snake out. I think it's a mud snake. They're like, you guys need to pitch in, you neutral countries. And it's like, bro, you need to pitch in more. What are you talking about? The one for the United States, NATO wouldn't be anything. What is this? Is this, oh, I see the red. It's a mud snake. Oh, it's a mud snake. Look at the size of that mud snake. That's sad. It's been out there for a little while. That sucks. Oh, this is the snake I saw earlier that I wasn't able to stop for. You're talking about nature stuff instead of geopoliticals and... is this allowed on YouTube? What are you talking about? Finding snakes? That one was hit by a car. I can talk about whatever I want to. This is alive. I'm having a conversation, and we're talking about all sorts of stuff. We're talking about reptiles and stuff as well. What do you mean, is this live? Or is this allowed? Me looking for snakes and I come across one that's dead in the road? What is your problem? You don't like the conversation? Then don't watch the live. We're just having a conversation. I meant the snake that had a plane run on it. What do you mean it's not, is it allowed on YouTube? I found the snake that had been hit by a car. I didn't hit it with the car. I'm not purposely running over snakes with cars. I am looking for snakes to get them out of the road, and that one just happened to not be so lucky. What do you mean, is this allowed on YouTube? What are the YouTube police? I don't mean to be like an asshole about it, but like, you're not going to just jump in here randomly and be like, why are you talking about this? Is this allowed? If you don't like it, go. No one's telling you to stay. You're not going to completely make me talk about whatever. You're not going to tell me what I can and can't talk about. If I want to talk about things that are going on, we were just talking about Europe in general, and I was talking about something that I heard. I'm allowed to talk about whatever I want to. This is just a live stream where we're just having a good time, and I am having a good time telling you to suck it. Like, I don't have any problem with people voicing their opinion. If you did disagree with me, you're allowed to say something. That's fine. But you're not going to be like, I only want you to talk about this. Well, then don't watch this. Watch the other content. This is a more open thing. I don't normally talk about geopolitics, but that just ended up happening in this conversation. So, to that, I bid you a good day. If you would like to stay and watch us look for snakes and talk about whatever conversation topic comes up, then awesome. If not, well, there's not even a door. You can just swipe away. Thank you. There was a beetle on my neck. Well, that's frustrating that was a dead mud snake. Very frustrating, but what are you going to do? It's going to happen sometimes. So, if you guys are just dropping by, I just made it. Your video upload, premieres, and live streams are automatically posted on the Discord announcement chip. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that. I tried messing with it, but it kept on putting it on a different channel. I think we should talk about the Florida Teletubbies faster than YouTube a lot of the time. I appreciate that. Seriously. That means a lot. Thank you very much for that. If you guys are just stopping by, thank you, but this is pretty much going to be the end unless I find something right here. If you are not a part of the Discord yet, go check out the link in the description below to join up with that. We have a good time. We have conversations, and there's a bunch of stuff. You can, you don't have to just talk about animals. There's a bunch of stuff we have to talk about. Whether you want to show some memes or show any animal pictures that you take, or just, off-topic random stuff as well. So, if you guys would like to join up with that, I would greatly appreciate it. For those of you who have been here this whole time and have been part of this great stream, again, thank you very much for all your time. Thank you guys for really making all of this a lot of fun. I'm definitely trying to make this a more community-oriented thing rather than just posting just straight content. And I hope you guys have enjoyed these live streams. Now, over the next probably month or so, yeah, lots of snakes this stream. Lots of good snakes. Not that any snake is a bad snake, but some very interesting stuff this time. Yeah, join the Discord. I'm hopefully going to be getting out as you wish. I just came here. YouTube sent me here. I didn't come looking for a fight or an attitude problem. Well, unfortunately, I do have a bit of an attitude, but I don't apologize for that. I am open to all sorts of things, and when we're having a live stream, I just like having a conversation, and wherever the conversation goes is where it goes. We're just having a conversation, and if you don't like that, that's fine, but you're not going to tell me what to talk about and what not to talk about during my live stream. So that's why I'm a little bit of a pushback on that end. I'm not a big fan of, not saying you're trying to censor me or anything, but I'm not a big fan of being told what I can and can't talk about. So it was a good conversation, and you're the only one who said anything about it. So, but anyways, for those of you who were here and saw all those snakes, it was a good time. And yeah, we'll see you on the next one. Again, check out the Discord if you haven't already. Over the next probably month or so, I would say. Geez, there are a lot of people on the road. Over the next month or so, things might be a little Angry Redditor yells defensive YouTube chat member. Yeah, exactly. Remember, I look like a Redditor. All the Walligator people said I look like a typical Redditor. Not clickbait. Yeah, and if you haven't noticed, I haven't really talked about the Walligator stuff because there's not much to talk about with it, and it's not like that big of a deal. But anyway, all right, y'all have a good one, and see you on the next one. Peace.